Okay, viewers, it is a long time since I informed you about starting my channel, PCB of Science, but there was an unwanted gap. So now I am presenting the first video regarding guidelines, how to answer your sheets, your questions, as well as how to uh, try the questions. So first of all, since I have been teaching all the 9th, 10th students, so I'm aware that the subject matter is not so difficult as few of you start thinking that it is chemistry, it is physics, it is bio or something like that. But in fact, you should understand that any topic, any part of syllabus is not directly just put into the syllabus. First, and our educational institution, NCRT, that is National Council of Educational Research and Training, that trains teachers as well. So they first experiment uh, this much of content based on a topic on your age group students to find out whether this age group is able to comprehend this topic or not. And when they are successful, only then that topic is added into your 9th, 10th or whatever syllabus of which grade. So first, just throw out this suspicion or this fear that your contents are much more at the higher level than your intellectual level. No, it is the syllabus is made prepared according to average intellectual level of and this particular age group students. Means if you are 13 to 15 in 9th or 10th, so the educationist will try same content and question answers and everything on same age group students or experimental children, and then when they'll be succeeding in understanding this content, only that and then NCRT puts that content into your textbooks. So first of all, to learn anything you must be free of any fear, any apprehension that science is very difficult, or apart from basic aptitude that I understand. Somebody has arts institute, somebody has aptitude, sorry, and somebody has scientific temper, some technical. So apart from that, the matter is just fit for your age group children, for which NCRT takes lots of cudgels. It's not that they just start teaching you a subject. I've been witnesses this all, that in different but through different teachers and all that, everything is planned, experimented, whether a particular age group will be able to understand, comprehend this topic as to learn it. So you should first of all free of fear of difficulties. Secondly, you must be focused. If you are listening something teacher is explaining and you are paying your attention here and there, and your mind is roaming here and there, so naturally it won't be then maybe possible to understand the topic. You have to be focused. So after removing your fear, you have to focus. Then third thing is that while we understand a topic, it's not that only listening the teacher's lecture will do, because we human beings have five senses at least, and sixth is skin. Okay, so these all five our senses must be focused on learning. That is, if you only listen, only ears are involved, so the learning won't be that much permanent and impactful. So you have to listen the teacher carefully. Similarly, you have to view the things. A good teacher always makes certain diagrams, she brings certain things on in the classroom to make you understand better. So focus on the blackboard also while your teacher is writing. For that, you have to pre-prepare your notebook. to note down main points of your teacher's lecture. If it's not possible to write down whole, and it's not as advisable also that you should write whole the lecture, because then you won't be concentrating on. Just write down main things to later revise, recapitulate the topic you have been taught, and then you can very well see by revising whether you have learnt it or not, or what is the area of difficulty. Then you can go to your teacher and you can get the things explained. Okay, so third point is using your all the senses. When you write, there's an activity, and you should. I was continuing that when you write, a certain type of activity is involved. Your motor activity of your digits, means fingers, makes you understand the topic more, because your third sense, you have listened, ears, you have watched on the blackboard and at teacher's face. So the ears, eyes are also involved. And the third is activity based. Your fingers are writing certain points, so that also impresses your brain more than the actual just sitting dumb and not writing at all, not taking any note. And the third is understanding, which is the result of all these activities of our sense organs. So fourth is, one activity is writing, which is a very general activity you can very easily perform. And another activity will be explained by your teacher, will be demonstrated by your teacher when she brings certain experiment or activity or model or project to make you understand the things better. And then you shouldn't do like this, that she is showing you this model or project and you are just staring at looking at it. If you find what are the parts of this project or model and how it is being operated, for that you can take permission of teacher to find out, go and touch the model and project and then understand. So that learning will be deeper. Then next thing is this, that after doing this activity, okay, observation is another thing. Like your teacher told you, explained you about physics law, Newton's laws. Okay, when you have studied about it, teacher has demonstrated you certain activity, you have noted down certain point, then you keep on watching, finding out what are the examples of this law or application of this law in your daily life, and that will make you a very very adept learner, because you are actually searching, which is a very integral part of science study. And for searching you will have to apply your quite senses, and as well as you will have to have a very innovative mindset, so to find out where these all things are happening. So that will also enhance your learning to a next level. And then whatever project model your teacher has demonstrated you, you yourself can make with suppose maybe that teacher's model is more professional or costlier or bigger, but you try to make a smaller version with your house material, like cardboards, like or in many places, like if you have to use a pulley, you can use a empty a reel whose thread has been all consumed. So that will act as a very good pulley without any cost. So in the, if you haven't got it at home, you can go to a tailor and ask for it. He'll happily give you this. I mean, I'll in some next episode, I'll try to explain you how to uh, gather the material for project making, model making, and how without cost, I mean, because that's a very important point for certain students whose parents can't afford. But that doesn't mean India is has been very poor in money used for educational institution 50 years back. But then we were producing so high grade mathematicians, scientists and all that, because anyway this way or that way, we say where there's a will there's a way. We make do and everything, and we are very proud Indians for that. So first thing, you should do that. Secondly, I'll advise you to be familiar with your countries, our motherlands, India's scientific background. Don't go on others if they say that India has no standing in this, that. No, we have been very, very scientific in our daily life rituals, practices, everything since very long, thousands of years ago. Only we lost the meaning why it is done so in between. So have faith on our Indian values, because if you are really educated, you have to first respect your motherland and mother. And after that, I will say that I told you I'll make a separate episode for model and project making, uh, in the sense of recording notes. I will also say certain students have a habit of using a paper, or sometimes in this register, sometime in that copy, and all helter and skelter. The If you don't follow a system, it won't make a good impact on your eyes or on your brain. If you have a proper copy for every, or register or notebook for every branch, like physics, chemistry, all that, you have properly make a list in index area, first page. Then you have put dates, you have put lessons name, you have put your teacher's name on this thing. So and you have started with your points and everything. That will be very, very rational when you sit to study, and that will consume less of your time, and more learning you will do with less effort. So apart from that, you develop a reading habit. Those students who have a reading habit, they come to know various aspects of science here, there, in a very interesting way. Because when we write in newspapers or journals, science journals, or somewhere in some book, it has to be interesting, otherwise nobody is going to read it, especially the young kids like you people. So you develop a habit of reading science related topics, or nowadays it's very easily available in video form. So whatever is the your arena of interest, physics, chemistry, bio, or in whatever one particular topic you have a great interest, so please read literature about it. Okay. And that nowadays you are so blessed, all of you students, that there's Google, who just lets you know where are these books or these things are available, what is this, what is that. It's a great help, I will say. So use it for constructive purposes, not for destructive purposes, as all of you know. And moreover, if when you sit to study, I know that it is a mundane affair, maybe boring to study 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours at a stretch. So just take a short break every time after whatever is your, for every student, the duration will be different. Somebody can focus for, 1 hour, some half hour only, some whatever is your concentration period. After that, you take a break for 5 minutes or kuch. Have a little snack if you wish. Have some water. Have whatever beverage you want, a good beverage, and whatever you want to do a little this thing. Uh, because I have a small student who, whenever gets bored, he asks for a glass of water and then goes in the my terrace garden, and then asks, I'll drink this water here because I have to watch flowers to get fresh. She's a very young child, so I let her. And this way, I mean, just making you understand that whatever is your refreshing method, pick out a small gap and do it, then your mind will be fresh again. And apart from that, the main thing is that you all the notes must be at one place in a very safe arrangement. It's not that your upper page or registers cover is just going torn away and all that, because you have to use those notes for 1 year at least. So keep this. Otherwise also, when you'll grow up, you'll feel very nice looking at your handwriting of these adolescent age or young age, and finding out how you had labored to do this. So making index, making every lesson's notes with date, with topic, then subtopics. And don't be foolish enough to make like you write lesson one, then you write topic one, and the subtopics or its parts you again start writing 1, 2, 3, 4. No, then you choose different symbols. Like if you are writing topic one, then its subtopics make you A, B, C, D like this in alphabet form. After that, if there are further subtopics, yeah, under subtopic itself, then you make it with Roman 1, 2, 3. Means you have to differentiate. Otherwise, you'll think this is another point of another topic and all that. So be very systematic in making notes. Okay. And maybe that teacher, naturally she will speak faster because she has to cover syllables of great length, and you cannot cope if you cope in writing, then you miss the blackboard this thing or some activity. Or whenever you look at teacher's face also now when she is explaining, even that makes your understanding very, I mean, deeper it makes. And then because that means you are focused. So when you are doing this subdivision and all that, always be proper so that you can understand what the splitting of this topic is in very clear form. Okay, then whatever is very important, a technical term or something, you write it with bold letters. Or though your notes taking won't allow it, but if you can use a different color, it's good, a bright different color, then that you will able to make out that in this lesson these are the highlights of lesson, these are the technical terms I have learnt, and these are the things in which are included in this topic. Okay. Similarly, if you don't prepare your stationery material earlier, when teachers started speaking, you are hunting your pen. If when teacher is drawing, you are sharpening your pencil, so naturally you will lag behind, and you may disturb all the class when you ask what ma'am wahan pe kya tha, ye kya tha, wo kya tha. So it's better to be pre-prepared. Put your stationery box with, if one nib or nib of the pencil breaks, can break, keep two sharp pencils, keep two pen in good working condition, and so on. And not when teacher has started teaching you, then you are preparing all this. That will not only save your time to note better, but it will enhance your learning as well. Similarly, few students have tendency of asking the neighboring student what is left, how, where we are going, please tell me this. No, whatever you left, you leave it a gap, so that if you don't leave further matter, because teacher will keep on explaining, and what you are doing, you are asking the topic already done, things already discussed, so naturally you will lag behind. So leave one line. If it is one line, you leave 1.5 line, and when you fill that later on, pay 5 minutes with your friend classmate, and then you fill the gap. And if you have left more space, just make a straight line. Don't just leave it vacant to make you understand that I have left something more. No, you just fill it with a line to make yourself clear that I have not left anything, the matter was this much. Then be in habit of changing paragraphs while you are taking notes. A full epic like notes copy or compilation will not enhance your learning, because when you look at these notes, you'll get few of you may get terrified, "Arey baba, itna sara ye hai." So then it will be a difficulty for you. So what you should do, you should divide it into paragraphs. Or naturally, the topic also keeps on changing, subtopics keep on changing. So you have to do like that. Okay. Then, if you have to draw a diagram there and you have no time while teacher is teaching you to draw that diagram, you understand when teacher is drawing on board or through your and this thing electronic representation, and later on you, whenever you have a free period or whatever, that day only when you go back home, you make that diagram, draw that diagram there. Similarly, I have to make you, sometimes the diagram is good and all that, still then you don't get 100% marks, but you get 90%, and then you say, I have made all the parts, components correct, and still the teacher hasn't given me. And why? Neatness is a thing, accuracy is a thing, which thing is so much long, which is so small, and you are making disproportionate dimensions, so naturally your marks will be deducted. If it's not neat, naturally your marks will be deducted. If it is not straight in the center of the, then maybe. And same goes for labeling the different parts of a diagram. You have to label in a neat, decent way. For that, what should do, you have to use a scale, not you are making one arrow here, one arrow there, and just going all the direction. No, just make neatly straight lines with the help of ruler and scale and arrow should point towards the part you are labeling, not to outside. Okay. And then if there are many parts in a limited area, so if you will make arrows and you will write, so maybe that becomes too close, too congested to be to give an appearance of neat and this look. So what you will do, then you can use both the sides if there are more than required labelings, or the labeling is getting congested. What if you write your labeling very beautifully in a good hand, naturally you'll get, I mean, your answer sheet will attract more this thing. Similarly, don't, I mean, it's not that if you write in your board answer sheets, one part of question here and one part of question there of the same question, but I will say, if you can do it, avoid distributing sub parts of one question. Try to answer all the parts of one question at one place. So your copy will appear, answer sheet will appear systematic, neater, and it will reflect your personality, that the student is very well aware of the content, is clear about it, and has worked in a systematic manner. Okay. Similarly, when you are drawing the diagrams, few students are in habit of making it very light, and few students are in habit of just tearing off the paper. They make so dark impressions with their pencils. So don't do that. Just be average. It should be very clear, but it shouldn't be having impressions on the next page, backside. And similarly, the pencil you use, if you are very good at your drawing the diagrams, then you can use a little darker pencil. But if you are not very good at it, use first lighter pencil. Twice H and HB are the two varieties of drawing pencils. So you use lighter one, and when that lighter sketch comes correct, then you darken it. Okay. And take very good practice in rough. Make it a habit while you are talking to someone, you can keep on sketching something on rough paper, keep a rough copy, or take some paper while you are talking to your friend and all that, and make a habit of sketching to save your time, because nowadays you have I mean, naturally, a greater syllabus due to advancement of science and syllabus. and the other activities you people also perform. Somebody have certain interest, for that they attend classes. So this way you can uh, save your time. Also, to learn technical term which initially appear you very tough, especially in bio, when these are in Latin language, because we are not familiar with that language, and singular plurals are also different in that language. We are accustomed to English. So nothing is difficult. You must understand. If you try, whether it is Latin or whatever, everything will come very clear. And then when you are having these technical terms from Latin, you just keep on writing in rough twice, thrice those spellings, and after some time you will come to know that you are expert at it. Similarly, when you organize your activities, play in arrangement periods, when another teacher comes, not the subject teacher, and you are given certain free time, but in the class itself. So you people can take permission, and teachers do this, that you can perform any activity. Then you arrange, play, quiz based on technical terms. So whatever letter was the last, the next technical term should start from that letter. This way you will be acquainted with entire list of these technical terms. Okay. And apart from that, GK questions are made, can be prepared, that which animal has pseudopodia. And yes, when I say pseudopodia, it reminds me that this is Latin, and the singular is pseudopodium, but the plural is not pseudopodia, podiums. It is pseudopodia. There is a list of parameciums, plural is paramecia, है ना? So there are certain things which you single out separately, that these their plural are different words than usual English words. So these are stepwise, you will overcome all the obstacles. It's no problem going through your syllabus or learning your content or understanding better. The most important thing is understanding. And if you have a younger sibling at your place, sister or brother, or some needy student, or some neighbor who is studying in class lower than yours, but with the same subjects, then make a practice to help that person. That will not only help that person, but you will be learning better. Okay. Over the years, teachers also get again and again clearer and clearer in their concepts because of teaching. So you should do that way. You will do some good work. You will spread education, and you will enhance your learnings. Okay. So I hope, there are so many things to be told, but I hope for today it should be okay. And I will like to know the your reactions. What do you feel? How much you understood from this content? And if it is useful to you, give a like, and also share, and give your views, what you want or how you felt. Okay. Always welcome every reaction from my students. Apart from, though I have never come across such students who give unwanted uh, comments in not respectful language, but I've never come across. But I request you to comment with caution, with love and respect. If you don't like, you can always leave the video, Hana. There's no compulsion, but behave like as a student should. So I think you are going to associate with me. You will enhance your learning. You will enhance my pleasure in making you learn. Okay? Okay. Bye bye. And you should like, subscribe, and share my videos. Okay? So, rest for